Hello everyone and welcome to the Kuros Cast Christmas 2020 special.
Ho ho ho.
Brung, brung, brung.
Joining me as always is Tom and Rob.
Should have done this up.
Probably the quickest turnaround of any of our Kuros Cast episodes. We're back
In record time.
back in not the studio in under like 4 or 5 days.
Yep.
That might be a slight lie, but yeah. So welcome to our Christmas special. As you can see, I've got some lovely presents behind me if you're watching along on the YouTube, and Tom's got his lovely little hat on as well.
Yeah.
Very nice. I got my Christmas jumper and some Himalayan salt lamps because everyone knows they're Christmassy.
Well, it's in the mountains, snow, Christmas. You know.
There you go.
Here we are.
And some dogs chilling.
Yeah.
That's a special
That's
kind of
also
reindeer.
Christmassy. Yeah. Yeah, I should have put dog antlers. That would have been good actually. Yeah. I was going to buy them like a little thing that you put on, like a little like Santa riding them or something, like a little elf riding them, just 'cause I thought it made me laugh. Think around to it.
Could have put it in the thumbnail. That would have been our big break.
A little bit of clickbait there. Yeah.
So everyone, welcome. This is going to be a bit of a different podcast. I mean, it's going to be focused on Christmas news, weird Christmas stuff. Maybe there'll be some fancy sound effects in the background. I don't know whether Rob's going to do that or not. He might not be bothered, but we'll see. We'll find out.
Or add in some sleigh bells or something.
Just the whole way through. It'll be like
Or a bed of like sort of like wind, snow sounds.
Yeah.
That'd be really
or
good.
just Christmas songs on in the background. Continuously.
Has anyone got anything they want to bring up? Any topics that we need to revisit from the last episode? I don't think
Of course,
there
it's
is.
only been a couple of days, isn't it?
It's been such a short amount of time that we've had no feedback or nothing to catch up on yet.
In fact, I have actually got one sort of catch-up thing about an article we had in season 1, or a story we had all the way back in season 1. It's something that I saw the other day.
Someone going through the back catalogue. Are you going through the back catalogue yourself?
Well, I went back through and edited some of the descriptions of some of the old articles.
Okay.
And I read or remembered one of the stories that I think Lawford brought back in the old days about a guy whose parents threw away his porn collection. I don't know if you remember that, Rob.
Okay, sort of,
I
yeah.
remember listening to it.
Yeah.
So, the general gist was that this guy had quite a big collection of porn, and he was living with his parents, and obviously it had been brought to his parents' house. So they didn't want it in the house. They were sort of dead against having all this porn in there. So they just...
It's funny, that, isn't it?
they just destroyed it. And he'd taken them to court, so he was planning to sue them because...
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
it was worth $20,000, I think, or something like that.
That's it, fuck off.
So the update, this was really, really recent. Man whose parents threw out his porn collection wins lawsuit against them.
Yeah, justice.
So he hopes to be awarded $75,000 for the destroyed property.
Fuck, what a
It's
cunt.
mad,
He
isn't it?
sued his parents for throwing away his porn. He really is a wanker, isn't he?
I love it. So they're going to have to pay their son David, 42, as much as £75,000 for destroying the porn.
Jesus.
I mean, it's the same as for one, anyone who has that much physical porn in 2020, they're either 70 years old and just a hoarder, or you're dumb.
Yeah,
Well, I think maybe
it's not worth that much anymore, surely.
No.
Like, it's just not. He's never going to sell it for that much. No one was going to pay him.
I think he was
No.
coming from it from like a collector point of view, which is a bit weird. I don't know whether that's like
What,
a
it was
big
like
thing.
vintage porn or something?
Well, in this article, it says here that the dad was shocked by many of the scenes in the collection, which he claimed depicted incestuous sexual relationships, sex with minors and animals, sexual assault and slavery. So
Oh, great.
sounds like there was some naughty stuff in there, but the other
Sounds
guys
really good.
the other guys denied it. You know, he said it's just
Well, surely
not
to
true.
prove it was worth 75 grand, he would have had to show the contents of his porn collection. Otherwise, he could have just said anything. He might not even had it. He could have just said, "Oh no, he can't show. It's all destroyed."
Yeah.
He must have had to show evidence or something.
Well, yeah. So I mean, they've
how did
got
they
like
know
a
it-
list. It says here a detailed list of Workings, who's it's the surname, Workings porn collection that was entered into the court record shows that it included 1,605 individual titles of pornographic DVDs and VHS tapes, and at least 50 sex toys and paraphernalia. I don't know what falls under paraphernalia. I mean, sex
Or
toys
like-
says it all, really, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
what-
no, maybe like handcuffs, or like, you know.
that's just a sex toy, isn't it? 50 sex toys and paraphernalia. Like, what is the paraphernalia bit?
No, I think a
Like
sex
poppers.
toy would be like a dildo or a vibrator or something, but like paraphernalia would be maybe
Yeah.
a
whips,
gimp mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, yeah,
Whipped
You-
cream.
You're more
Yeah,
specialised.
yeah.
stuff.
All kinds of whips.
yeah. Like it's not the toy part of it. It's just part of the scene.
Yeah.
You might have
candles
it.
for
Yeah,
some
you might have it.
mood
Yeah,
lights.
exactly. Part of the mise en scène.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I was talking the other day. I was like, every opportunity I get to say mise en scène or diegetic or non-diegetic and be like, that is my media studies fucking.
I remember learning
A-level,
about
yeah.
diegetic sounds in media studies, and
That's it.
every time watching a film, they'd be like, "Oh, that's a good use of non-diegetic sounds." There.
Yeah. We were talking about it the other day with my old uni band, and I said about it. I was any chance to get it. So if they listen to this, they'll be very amused at my.
I think since
Use
last
of mise en
episode where we
scène.
spoke about being whelmed as opposed to underwhelmed and overwhelmed, I think I've used it multiple times a day since then.
I've just
Actually,
realised.
to bring it
Very
out, yeah.
whelming.
I just realised I said I was going to put "prepare to be whelmed" in the description of the, and I didn't do
Yeah,
it.
did you
so I
not?
think, no, I'll have to go back and change that.
Fucking amend that, you cunt.
Not very
I've had,
festive.
I've had a couple of beers, and I.
Speaking of beers, I'm just going to
Yeah.
pour myself out a lovely John Smith's of Tadcaster, extra smooth. So-
Very nice. I'm on the Heinekens. Gina's over in the corner here listening in on this episode, by the way, because we already started drinking, and then she didn't want to just sit in the kitchen drinking on her own. So I was like, we'll just come and have a live podcast, and we'll continue drinking.
Should have got a second microphone.
I could have done, but there's no way she'd have cared for that.
No.
And I.
I have a Birra Moretti. It says it's from Italy. I wonder if it actually is, or if it's one of those beers that pretends they're from another country. But
It probably originated. Whether it's actually brewed there or not is a different question.
I think
Yeah.
it might be owned by Heineken now. I don't know. Heineken
Probably.
own every beer, don't they? Pretty much.
I've got a load more interesting beers downstairs, which. But you know, I've drunk a lot of craft ale, and you can only drink, and they make me fucking sleepy. I'm blaming them for being sleepy.
Oh yeah,
because
whatever.
they're heavier, and these have got more sugar and shit in them, haven't they? I think they're just more likely to keep me awake.
You do seem to
So,
have a lot more energy tonight than last
I
episode.
hyped
so it's
myself.
good.
Christmas.
Yeah, I specifically hyped myself. I put some live energetic music on.
Yeah,
I've had a fucking sugary beer.
I do think that
Um,
last episode was a very low energy episode across the board.
Oh mate,
Well,
I
it's all
was
about
fucked.
history.
All about history and
yeah. but, it's
Yeah.
Christmas. Let's get into the Christmasness.
Yeah, exactly.
Christmas.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah,
first?
yeah, I think that was it from me. That was just that little catch-up thing. There
Nice.
might be a little cameo appearance from someone at some point during the pod. I don't want to promise it, but we'll see.
I
That's all
don't
I'm gonna
fucking
say.
promise it
That's
because
all I'm going to say. At some
I'll
point,
believe it when I see it.
someone might be on the phone, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah. So stay tuned for something that might or might not happen. Although you don't know what it is, it might happen.
Oh yeah.
I'm fucking taking off the Christmas jumper already. I'm sweating out in here, and because I'm all fucking
Yeah,
Christmas
it's all
beard
right.
up.
No one's watching anymore anyway.
No one's no one's watching. People may well get through if you're listening, but no one watches the fucking thing for 2 hours, do they?
Apart from Ant Martin, shout out Ant Martin.
Does he watch? Does he watch?
He's
Is he a
our most
watcher?
staunch YouTube supporter.
Yes.
Oh, is he? Big up and mine, yeah.
Yeah. All the rest
He
of
we
you.
just-
Yeah.
We just full named him. We did
yeah.
say
Yeah.
get not full naming random people, but there you go. We don't know.
Nah, he'll be happy.
He gets a special mention.
I'd like to go first. To be
Go
honest,
first.
we already established that I've already nicked one of yours, Tom.
Yeah.
But just in case the other one is also nicked, and I got fucked last episode, and
Go for it.
I think my contribution was weak.
Agreed.
I'm gonna, yeah, it was, and my awakeness was second to none. It was great. Really thought I was getting away with it. I need to watch it back actually.
Yes, some good
Um,
little YouTube
Yeah,
clips on there.
it makes me think. Well, the amount of times I've done that in like a work setting or something maybe as well, where like I've accidentally been falling asleep, and like in your head you think that's all right. No one really notices. They're probably just really obvious, innit? And just watching me gradually just fall asleep.
It was obvious because I noticed it when George was talking about his thing, and then George noticed it when I was talking about my thing.
Dickhead. All right, well, I'm hyped. I'm hype on the rhythm today. At least while I do mine, and then I might fall asleep while you two are talking. So, I have got. I don't think it's a new story, is it? I think I dragged it up from the past. Or is it new? Or is it this year? No, maybe this one is from this year. The other one's dragged up from the past. It's pretty America. I thought you'd enjoy it, George, because you like a good America guns kind of a article, didn't you? But this is undercover cop dressed as Santa body slams car thief while his elf partner draws his gun in holiday crime crackdown outside California Target.
Oh, I love it already. Is there a video?
Yeah.
Please let there be a video.
There is a video, yeah. You can watch it later. Maybe we can share a little clip of it or something. I don't know. Again, it's one of those ones where the headline pretty much says it all. I kind of Googled. I was really hoping for like some thieves dressed as Santa, but I couldn't really find anything like that. I wanted to be a thing where, like, I don't know, a load of thieves broke into or like did a bank robbery, armed robbery or something with Santa beards on or something. I was really hoping I'd find that. Probably not that funny.
Probably does exist.
It must exist. Yeah, someone must have done it, but it certainly the SEO of this had outweighed any thieves dressed as Santa if that has happened.
Just if anyone wants to see the video, it's now on the screen of an undercover cop dressed as Santa Claus body slamming a thief.
It's so unnecessary.
Exactly
as well.
that.
Like it is exactly that. Like you watch the video, the guy is like. So this is. I'll read a little bit of the article. Undercover. I mean, it's pretty obvious what happens. Undercover cops dressed as Santa and an elf nabbed a few thieves outside of a shopping centre in California last week, including 2 who tried to steal a car, which is basically what the video shows. Video and images showed a duo making arrests outside the Target store on Thursday. Riverside Police Department said the officers were conducting a holiday enforcement program that targeted retail theft at one of the busiest shopping centres in Riverside. The program is dubbed Santa's Intervention. And in the video, there's like, you see it, the video starts showing, which I guess is the guy suspected of stealing a car, and then there's some other guy where one like elf is standing there. I know, like a more traditionally dressed policeman is standing there, and they're obviously accosting this guy, but they're already standing there talking to him, and then the one dressed as Santa just runs up and just dump tackles him. Like, it's just so unnecessary. He's already like, doesn't seem to be kicking off on nothing. It's just, I think they wanted the video footage of Santa dump tackling someone so they could use it on their fucking Instagram or something. But
yeah, because someone's filming this. Someone's like sitting there filming the like the two, like the police officer having an altercation with this guy. Yeah, someone's just filming it. I don't know whether that's another police officer who's in on it or something.
I think they have like, well, because I mean, you see it over here, didn't you? Like the police have Twitter accounts and stuff now, don't they? Where they're like, and sometimes the police, well, in the UK, they make some pretty good like Twitter takedowns of people where they say like, but. Yeah, in this, maybe it's the same thing. Maybe they're doing it as a bit of a Twitter laugh thing. Well, but I don't know whether they were like, whether the sort of pretense was that they were, a Santa in like a grotto. Because it's not like you wouldn't see a Santa. Like you'd be.
Yeah, they stick out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think
that they were the police.
Yeah, better. Put my head down. Santa's about.
Yeah, but you might,
don't want to be on a naughty list.
But you might be like, why is that guy dressed as Santa? He obviously works for Target or something, didn't you? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It seems maybe it could just be complete bullshit, and the whole thing is just
maybe.
It's like a plot from a like an 80s action film where
it is
like a bank robbery. Everyone's dressed up as Santa and his elves, and it's great.
So when you sent this article, and I said, you've nicked one of my ones, I was actually wrong. It's just that we both had very similar articles. This is about a complete different scenario.
Oh, that's good.
Well, actually, it's a very same scenario, but in a completely different place. So this article, I'm sort of jumping the gun here just because it's so related. But
yeah.
It was in Peru, and police conduct a drugs raid dressed as Santa Claus and an elf.
It looks well more Peru. The picture of this.
So this is also on the screen now if you're watching. But literally, a man dressed as Santa Claus and another guy dressed as an elf. Like, you guys got to open up the video if it's not gonna
I'll
wreck
bring it
you.
up now.
But
All right.
they literally just run at this house, and there's a cameraman following them from behind, and it looks like something from Trailer Park Boys or something
It
like
really
that.
does. Yeah, what is this?
And they just smash down the door, pin this guy on the floor, and he's just dressed as Santa Claus. And
Why
then
have
the
they
other
done
guy's
it for
dressed as an
no
elf.
reason? There's no
And,
reason for them to be dressed as
Yeah,
that.
and I was reading the article, and it says, so a police drug squad in Peru have raided a house dressed as Santa Claus and an elf, detaining a suspected drug dealer. The guy was suspected of selling drugs outside his house near a school. They wore flak jackets under their costumes and arrived in an undercover van before breaking into the house, and they did discover drugs, balaclavas and guns in the house.
Mate, this is my favourite video.
Yeah.
It's exactly like Trailer Park Boys.
Well. It's really Trailer Park Boys, yeah.
And all it says is the country's police have used disguises during raids for some time, and they say the method is an effective tactic. They have been known to dress up as homeless people and street sweepers in the past.
There was absolutely no reason for that, though.
That's the end of the article.
No reason for that.
My favourite bit is the first bit where they're sitting in the car and it just starts, and that guy's got a little hat perched on top of his head.
Shit.
It's just ridiculous. It looks like a spoof documentary.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I love on my audio. I'll just quit.
Smashes down the door.
I just accidentally quit myself out of the chat there. My back, yeah.
And it's funny, you see, they go in the house and they grab this guy and pin him to the ground, and then there's other people just standing around who are just kind of watching, like not knowing what's going on by the looks of it. It is good. I like how there's these two similar articles.
Yeah, that's good. But that one was much better, I think.
Yeah, this one's really new. This one's 5 days ago.
I think this was also fairly new. I can't see the date now, but I remember looking and I think it was new. 15th of December, yeah. This was only a couple of days ago as well. But they're both just completely unnecessary. They've just done it just purely for the headline, haven't they? Like, it makes...
Oh, yeah.
I see no actual... That one even worse. At least this one, maybe they were sort of like trying to be like, you know, like a Santa's Grotto Santa, for example, inside Target or something, because it wouldn't be unusual to see one in there, I guess. A guy maybe collecting for charity or something. But they've just done a general raid and just happened to have dressed up.
I love the beards and everything.
Yeah. And then the way they're both trying to get through the door at the same time and they sort of get stuck, bounce off the door frame. And it's brilliant.
It's shot so well. Whoever, like... It
really does. It looks like it's shot like a Trailer Park Boys or something. It's got that same sort of candid,
some kind of
real but not real type. Yeah. It's weird.
Brilliant.
Oh, it's great.
Before we jump on to something else, we could see if we can get our special guest on the line if you want.
Go on then, yeah. We'll see if he lasts for like half a second.
Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. I'm just.
Are you gonna try and do it? You're gonna put him on speaker or something?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna see whether.
Whoa.
Right.
Stay tuned.
Right. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Audio quality might change a little bit because I've got the audio coming out of my Mac now, so Lawford... Oh, I've given it away! So Lawford can... Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's going to have to fill the...
This is a
dead air.
Christmas guest inbound.
This might be
Christmas gift for all the listeners.
Christmas miracle.
He might not fucking answer, will he?
All the long-time listeners.
Right.
The original.
This would be a Christmas miracle.
He's too busy wanking over his Pokemon cards.
Oh, hang on.
Peckwood.
Hello. Merry Christmas.
And to you, mate.
Can you hear Rob and Tom?
What are you saying, Love?
You're live on the Christmas special, Lawford. Your long-awaited return to the Kuros cast.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to tell to all the new listeners? You know, all the people that have sort of stuck around all this time, waiting for you to come back on.
If they know the guests or the reoccurring hosts on the show, they'll know that one has got a haircut recently and one hasn't got a haircut recently. To be honest with you, I'm not really happy about that.
I think
I actually did get my haircut. Yeah, I did actually get my haircut a little while ago. So
doesn't count.
Was that your back hair, Rob?
Yeah.
No, I did. I got it trimmed. It was shorter. The hair on my head was made shorter.
Lawford, you know what can you tell us about your Christmas cheer at the moment? What levels of Christmassy are you currently at?
10 at the moment, mate.
What's
2
that?
out of 10. Just for rubbish, innit? Just a load of
Could be
toot.
worse.
It's all a load of toot.
Lawford's usual level of cheer being brought.
Lawford, you might. Do you remember ages ago you brought a story about the porn collection that got destroyed by the parents?
Yeah.
There's a news article the other day. He's won his lawsuit.
Oh, what a legend.
Yeah. So what do you think that's going to do for the future of porn in law?
I think it's the future of destruction of any intellectual and or physical property in the future. If you own it and your parents destroy it, then they are potentially liable.
Oh, fucking hell, alright.
Hard-earned cash on it.
Watch out.
It's a lot more highbrow than I was expecting.
He hasn't had a beer.
Yeah, my uncle had a load of copies of 2001 AD. Don't know, are you familiar with that, Lawford? That's the sort of thing you might know. I'm not familiar with it, but it's an old comic book, and he had issue number 1, and he had like 1 to like, I don't know, however long he collected it. Every single order, like he got it sent to him, like he got sent into the news agents, and you go collect them, and he had them all up in the loft. Like found out, like maybe 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was, like years after having them, that they were worth quite a lot of money. Got him, my nan had chucked them all, loves them all. There you go.
Idiot.
So he could now, he could have sued her.
Was that about Pokemon cards, Lawford?
I said that's like Robert his Pokemon cards. I don't know where they've gone. He's
Yeah, I don't know
to a
if-
family member and he's lost them. There's
Yeah, I
potential
don't know
gems knocking about.
Lawford's big on.
Funny you should bring up. Yes. You're into Pokemon cards lately, Lawford. I haven't heard. You haven't mentioned it.
Yeah, you haven't been the one texting about them the last week. No, it's not you.
Other trading cards are available, but they're all shitty. Like Tom with his Yu-Gi-Oh and his Beyblade or something. Like what is it? Was you Yu-Gi-Oh or something, Tom? Was you?
I wasn't into Yu-Gi-Oh, but loads of kids at school were into Yu-Gi-Oh. But I was kind of too
Digimon, yeah.
late for it, and so I didn't really get into it until one kid at school just got fed up of it, and he just said, "Do you want all my cards?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And I got a stack like as big as my torso. That was
Fat stacks.
yeah, of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and there were some good ones in there, some good shiny blue eyes white dragons, and then I had them in my desk at school, and they were just gone after a lunchtime.
Outrageous.
And then this other kid who was always upset that he never had any Yu-Gi-Oh cards suddenly had a big stack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and
Well, he was probably less fortunate, so fuck it.
yeah, I got him back. I had to sit in the head teacher's
did you?
office,
Shit.
and he was going through every card, going, "Is this one yours?" I just said yes to every single card, and I got them all back.
It could have been much better, Tom. You could have had a stack of Pong your parents destroyed 36 years later and got loads of money out of it instead of a stack of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Nah, you always make a backup.
Lawford, he's going to win $75,000. That guy.
Oh, is it? That's all right.
I reckon you could get into collecting porn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds all right, doesn't it?
What would you class as porn paraphernalia?
A paraphernalia?
Yeah.
Anything in a shop window in Amsterdam?
Rob reckons
Right, I'm
it.
done with.
Hey,
I said I'm done with Lawford.
you're done with one.
Fuck him off.
There's a
No, I
lot
said
of
I'm done with
unreasonable
Lawford.
noise coming from.
Yeah,
Lawford at
that's
the moment,
what-
isn't there?
That's why I'm done with Lawford.
Because I've got a daughter going around on a little train, back and forward, so...
Little Christmas train.
Fair
sounds
enough.
rubbish.
At least she's enjoying herself.
Yeah. Well, Lawford, we'll let you go.
Merry
Go and
Christmas.
enjoy yourself again. Just before you do go, have you got anything to say to all the listeners? This is going to be your last appearance for probably another year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone, even though it is absolutely turd in the world, but it can only get better next year, right? So you haven't got a hair like Rob, so it could be worse.
Thank you very
I think it
much,
probably
Lawford.
was this time last year that Lawford was on it, wasn't it?
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, probably about a year.
No, it's over. It's over a year, mate. Well, over a year.
Is it?
Well, we'll have a good one, lads. I'll catch up with you later.
All right, bye, Lawford.
Peace.
Love
See
you.
ya.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
You too all. See you later. Bye, mate.
That's all right, wasn't it? Nice
That
to hear
was
from him.
Premiumly low quality, but that was alright.
Yeah, a lot of unreasonable
Yeah.
background noise, so apologies to everyone.
That's your Christmas present, listeners. That's all you're getting. Deal with it. You fucks.
Cool, I'm back on.
On that note,
standard
yeah.
audio.
Well,
Yeah, what's your next one, Rob?
what's my next one? So that was the end of that one. Please, Santa. I enjoyed your addition to it. So this was a little one that I thought was I think it possibly is a load of bollocks as well.
Never had that.
I'm surprised they haven't brought it out this year. Yeah, well, I thought it was a little bit of a feel good for Christmas, because you know
Yeah.
everything's a bit of naff at the minute. this is the sort of thing. Yeah, you could see that they would have just made up this year just to make people feel better and sound like a thing. But it wouldn't be very socially distanced or corona friendly, so it wouldn't work this year. But it's mystery man gives out £50 notes in shop. A mystery philanthropist, got that word right, has brought Christmas cheer to the people of Devon by handing out £50 notes to shoppers. One local tells Channel 4 News, "It's good to see genuine kindness at this time of year." The man apparently put £50 notes in blank envelopes and handed them out to shoppers at a Tesco superstore in Devon just before Christmas. It's unclear how many people received the letters in their shopping baskets, but one elderly couple who received the gift say they were overwhelmed by the generosity. One report suggested that up to 12 people benefited from the man's kindness. So, what's that? 50...
Jesus.
That's like 600 quid. No.
You said 12 people?
Yeah. 500 quid. 50 quid.
Yeah.
1,200. About 600 quid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inside the envelope, along with the cash, was a printed message from the mystery benefactor that read, "Happy Christmas. I've recently been fortunate enough to have come into quite a lot of money, more than I need for myself and my family, so I thought I would share some of it with other people. The £50 enclosed is for you. I hope this enables you to have a little extra cheer this Christmas. You do not have to do anything other than spend the money, and it is real. There is no trick, no hidden cameras or catch. Just have a happy Christmas." No one knows who the mysterious man is, but some priest said 2 pensioners in his parish who had received an envelope wanted to thank their benefactor. Blah, blah, blah. The couple were shopping before Christmas when a man came up to them. He put an envelope in their hands, wished them the compliments of the season, and walked away. It turned out to have 50 quid in it. Mr. Asprey said a number of people had told him about the incident, but the local couple wanted to stay anonymous. He said they had contacted the local paper to try and trace the person who gave the money away in order to thank him. And then he says, "It's a very nice Christmas story, and frankly, it's a bit of relief when there's so much doom and gloom out there." So this is from 2011. So I think every year, I guess, something to take away on a positive note, there's doom and gloom every year, apparently.
Yeah.
So, fuck it, we're no worse off than 2011.
Aren't we?
Well, yeah, maybe. Double doom and gloom. But,
I don't know. I was having fun in 2011 when I was like 15.
I
had no worries.
What was going on in 2011? I think
I was 16.
9 years ago, yeah.
GCSEs.
Yeah.
No.
What you doing GCSEs? Fuck me.
Yeah. I think.
Shit.
Yeah, I was.
Do you think this is real or not? I think this is a load of bollocks. I think this is one of those things that the newspaper could have made up. But I saw it in loads of articles. But then once one place makes it up, then someone else probably just reports on it.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably.
I think. Yeah, I could be real. I don't think it's that far fetched.
It's not that far fetched. No, it's not that far fetched.
I mean, it wouldn't
but it's
happen
also
in,
not that far fetched that they just made it up just because they had nothing else to write about and wanted to do a positive thing.
Yeah.
I actually had a bet with Gina that on the news they always end with a positive thing. Actually, we never concluded that, have we? We have 50-50 on her. But I always said at the end of the news, they always do a little positive story at the end. They're like,
It's always about like a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
fucking tell them. Yeah, it is. I exactly said it. In
Yeah.
other news, Rover, the dog, has learnt to play Tchaikovsky's.
yeah, and it'd be like a little YouTube, clip or something.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
isn't that lovely? Good old Rover.
Rover's dead
Off to
now.
the weather. Now for the weather. Yeah.
Wouldn't you love for it to just could take a twist one day and be like, "Oh, in other news, to end on something lightly, I got laid last night." just complete, and then that's it. Just cut away. They're like, "Oh, we have to fit in something positive. We haven't got anything."
There's got to be some clips of you see news reporter gone rogue or people drop it or supposedly a guy in the editing room, edits in the wrong audio. You seen stuff like that?
Yeah. And there's the classic one where that weatherman's sticking his finger up to the the anchors, and then it cuts to him and he does a quick scratch of his face.
That's brilliant. Absolutely caught out.
Yeah, I think this could be real.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not completely far fetched, but it's also just could easily be made up and no one could ever trace it. Or the newspapers haven't made it up. This fucking priest has just made it up just because he's bored and just I don't know.
The only thing is, there's not much to gain from it. The newspapers obviously can make it up, and they'll get a few more clicks from it and stuff like that. But are they actually going to benefit a huge amount from it?
No, the newspapers probably didn't pay this anyone, did they?
Yeah.
He might have got some donations though. He might have said, I'll do you an interview. You got to stick
Mm.
something in the old tin.
That's true.
You know what they're like, those
Yeah,
fucking priests.
religious.
He probably said, come and touch my cock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like,
Look, you can't do that, especially not on the Christmas special. You know,
yeah, that's true. Well, it's the holiday special.
the holiday special.
We are inclusive on the Curios cast.
Oh, it
Yeah.
says Christmas special on the screen. Shit.
Shit.
Shit. All right, shit.
Shit. That means Christ. It's got
I
Christ
mean,
in it, so you can't. You've got to
No
retract
matter
all your
if
statements
you
about
celebrate
the Catholic Church.
Christmas or not, it is still the Christmas special. Like, it is still Christmas.
I suppose, yeah.
It's like if
Yeah.
I don't celebrate, Diwali, but on Diwali it is still Diwali. Like, it just
True.
It is. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.
And happy
And
holidays.
to all
Yeah.
a good
Well,
night.
If you're American, we missed Thanksgiving was ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
Corona had a right old go over Thanksgiving, didn't it?
It's having a right
You
old
see,
go
just-
now as well.
It is having a right old go now, and we didn't even do the fucking mixing thing. It's a good job we didn't really. Did you see it in America? It was fucked after Thanksgiving.
What, America was
But-
fucked? You're joking?
Yeah, well, enough about that.
Mm.
I'm sorry,
me, that's
America.
my-
You know, it's,
Yeah, sorry, America.
I've got
All our
nothing.
American
I've got
listeners
nothing
got loads of
against
those.
America. I love America, but you do come out with some funny stuff. I love it. I love it.
Have you got any good American
Yeah.
stories, George? You got any? You got a Christmas
Um,
Bigfoot?
I've not got. It's the one thing I couldn't get. I mean, it'd be a Yeti, really, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
I've got. I suppose I've got one or two American ones, but it's not really the classic sort of gun-toting stuff. Actually, I've just completely forgotten what I've got. Yeah, I have got a gun-toting Santa, so don't worry about
Hey,
that.
well, who wants to go next? Are you going to do it or are you going to go Tom?
don't
Go
mind.
on, George. You might
Yeah, I
as
don't
well
mind
go.
going next. I've
Yeah.
got a couple here. So, first up, this is just a very, very quick little brief one. One that I came across and was just really weird, and I'd never seen it before. You two might have heard of this already, but this is from 2011, and this is KFC's chicken-scented Yule logs sell out within hours. So these were logs for the fire released by KFC that gave off the smell of KFC.
Mm.
That's
Which
awful.
is really weird.
Surely that smell is only ever good if you're really hungry and you're
Yeah.
just about to have a KFC.
do you think?
Instantly after that, it's like no one just leaves porn on 24 hours. Like,
That is true.
apart from that fucking wanker from the earlier article.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Google Analytics of like Pornhub's viewer retention rate like, on each video.
Yeah, that's in.
Probably
Yeah.
like a minute in, and then it's done. Yeah, that's
Unlike
all.
your mate from before, Tom, 2 hours or whatever he was.
Oh yeah, 3 I think. Can't remember. KFC do this kind of thing quite often. They KFC have got quite a good marketing team, I think, where they'll every now and again release like limited edition, chicken scented moisturizer or hand soap or something, or
That's fucking awful.
or they even released like a KFC bucket hat the other day, and it was like the KFC bucket but shaped like a bucket hat.
Is it just purely for like they don't expect anyone to actually use
Yeah,
it?
I
It's
think-
just for the headline and the clip.
Yeah, and I think they do actually sell them, but they only have to
yeah.
make a couple hundred of them,
Yeah.
and
It's just- yeah,
sell them for 50 to 100 quid each or something, and people are going to
Mm.
buy them, and that's it.
yeah.
I mean, these were selling for $19 each, which I think is about half. It's almost double the dollar to the pound at the moment, right? So it's quite expensive for like one log.
Yeah.
Does Buckethead wear a KFC bucket on his head, or is it just I know it's a chicken bucket. Is it KFC? Do you know Buckethead? Do you guys know
I don't know
Buckethead?
if it is KFC.
No,
I
you're
think
not
it's just
talking
generic.
about Lord Buckethead, are you? Or
No,
whatever his name is.
That was the guy that ran for the
Yeah.
UK elections. No, Buckethead's like an American guitarist, and he's like really good, like
Ah.
shredder guitarist.
Isn't it just a
But
generic?
he has a bucket. It could
me
just
have a
be a
look.
generic chicken bucket thing, but yeah. Anyway, it's not that important.
Yeah.
bucket head hat.
Yeah, it does say KFC on it. I've just looked. So Buckethead.
And
It does.
Oh, is he?
It does say.
And
So it
there
is
you
a
go,
KFC.
And everyone says that he is the guy that played in the Power Rangers theme, by the way, which is I don't think is true, but it could be true. No one actually really
Urban
knows
myth.
who he is, or maybe they do by now. I don't know.
Bring it up on the next mystery episode.
Yeah, fucking
Uh,
banging the Power Rangers theme tune, by the way. Anyway, carry on.
Did you know that KFC? It's actually traditional to eat KFC on Christmas Day in Japan. Like,
yeah.
it's like
I feel like you mentioned this the other week, maybe,
You
or
have to, like,
someone
maybe.
else said it.
order it weeks in advance, months in advance and stuff. But
Yeah,
they do like
it
Yeah,
don't
that's
they do
weird.
like an actual chicken? It's not like normal KFC. They've got like a special Christmas menu or something.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it basically was just a marketing thing that happened
Of course
about
it was, yeah.
8 to 10 years ago. KFC just sort of ran these adverts of people all eating KFC on Christmas Day and saying, like, "Oh, have KFC on Christmas. It's tradition." And it just picked up in Japan
That's
to the point
that's crazy,
when
isn't it?
now it is actually true that on it says here every Christmas season an estimated 3.6 million Japanese families treat themselves to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Love
So
it.
it in relation to the population of Japan, like three and a half million is
quite a lot.
not. I would say it's not a lot, right? Compared,
That's probably most
they've-
of that's
they've probably
in
got
Tokyo, I
hundreds of
guess.
million, but like, yeah, still 3.6 million people all sort of having KFC for their Christmas dinner is
It's enough to be a marketing win, isn't it? That's fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
There's a good YouTube channel where he talks about that and he orders it. It's an English guy. It's called Abroad in Japan. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I think I've
um,
seen it. Yeah,
Yeah, and he goes through the process of like ordering his KFC in Japan. That's just interesting, but it looks like such a high quality, like a genuinely nice meal as opposed to KFC. It's just weird.
yeah. I bet
It's
it's not the
mad.
same type of like fried chicken we'd get here. Like if we tasted it, it would just be
No, yeah.
it would be different.
Be amazing.
It's mad how many things are actually that we do that are just that are a marketing thing. It turns out, you know, that
Mm.
we just assume it's like tradition or whatever. Like, I thought of a couple a second ago. Well, like fucking diamonds. You know the whole. If you buy an engagement fucking ring, yeah, you get an engagement ring for Lynn, George, yeah.
Fair enough.
How much are you how much
What
are you supposed to
dropping me in
spend?
it on the podcast for?
How much are you supposed to spend
Oh.
on the ring?
It's like that.
What do people say? It's a
think
thing,
it's-
isn't it?
Is it like a fifth of your wages or something like
Yeah,
that?
something
Like
like
a fifth
that.
of your
Three
salary or
three months' wages or something. People
3
say. I
months,
think is
yeah.
what they say. It was just purely an advertising campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Well,
the-
diamonds
the-
themselves, diamonds aren't even that rare. Like
Yeah,
diamonds,
they're
like diamonds
created
aren't.
rareness, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just a really hard rock that
Yeah.
have some good uses because they're so hard, but because they just
Yeah.
they glisten.
Yeah.
They're made into this like
Yeah,
rare
they store them up.
thing.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And yeah, apparently it started off as 1 month's salary. Used to be they literally ran an ad campaign just to sell more fucking diamonds because they had too many of them and needed to sell more. And we're like, yeah, it should be 1 month's salary. And then it really went well. And they were like, oh, this is working. Let's change it to 3 months' salary. And then they changed it to that. And everyone just says it. And people say it like it's a fucking.
Yeah.
Even now, people say it in it wasn't even ran in England. And people say it as like a fact. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, that's how much you're expected to spend.
Well, luckily for
Fuck
me,
off.
Lynn is, very.
Allergic to diamonds.
She's allergic to diamonds and to expensive things. So no, she's. I don't think Lynn's about the diamond life. So luckily,
Well, a lot of people are wising up to that.
I'm just
being
going to get her some.
absurd, aren't they?
Was it called cubic zirconium or whatever it is? You know that the knockoff
The
diamond,
fake diamonds. Yeah.
fake diamond. Yeah.
What's the difference? It's the same fucking thing, is it?
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
like,
really?
isn't it just
It's
glass?
not actual diamond. Yeah, it's just like another type of hard, like shiny see-through thing that looks like a diamond.
double hard.
Yeah.
What's the
There's
fucking
also
difference?
it will happen again in about a month or two's time. Blue Monday, which is apparently meant to be like the most depressing day of the year, and
Oh yeah,
it's like end of January or something because
yeah.
everyone's skint.
isn't that
No one's got
payday?
any money. Like
Payday for me.
No,
The
it's like
weather's
it's furthest
shit.
away from payday, isn't it? It's like the furthest Monday away from most
yeah,
people's payday.
so
I
it
think.
ends up being like the 20th of January or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
where no one's been paid yet after Christmas. Everyone's skint, but
the trees come down.
The weather's shit. Yeah, the trees
Yeah.
come down. You've got like the post-Christmas blues or whatever.
Yeah.
So treat yourself. Go on holiday. And it was a marketing ploy by like a holiday company.
Oh really? Nice.
Yeah, and they just was like, oh, Blue Monday, treat yourself or whatever. You deserve a holiday. It's been cold. Go away. Go, because obviously, like I guess travel agencies are probably struggling around January time. No one's
Yeah,
booking
yeah.
holidays, so it's like you're depressed, aren't you? Because we've just told you are. So
Yeah.
go buy on holiday. And it's now stuck. Every year you'll see Blue Monday, most depressing day of the year, and
Yeah.
all these companies
Articles
are
about
tweeting,
it, and
like all pretending to care about you, like, oh, check your mental health on Blue Monday and stuff like that, and with a link to their fucking candles.
Yeah, one thing that fucks me off at the moment, just on that subject, is you see all this. There's a drive for supporting local business at the minute, and that great, like that is actually good. And then you get like fucking banks running adverts like, we support local business. It's like, oh, fuck off, you do. You fucking do
anyone
deals
who's giving you fucking money.
Yeah, you do deals with a fucking cartel. That's more what you do. Like, you just run a fucking advert. You take anyone's money. You don't give a fuck. Support local business, my cunt. Or on that quick subject quickly as well. Not subject of my cunt, but the subject of
No, let's stick on that.
Yeah, the subject of the Christmas. Well, not the Christmas. The ad campaigns. Obviously, the most famous is Christmas not being red. Is it actually true? Is that one of the things everyone says? Like Coca-Cola made it red. It used to be green. Like Christmas was like a green colour, and Coke made it red to line their thing. So they made Santa red. Santa was like Saint Nicholas, traditionally dressed in green, and Coca-Cola dressed Santa Claus in red in order to suit their marketing campaign.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Change the fucking colour of Santa.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a strong idea, isn't it? And now we're all just like, great.
Do you reckon he used to have a little logo on his hat as well? Or do you reckon that was too far for him?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Coke itself is just a mental marketing campaign, isn't it? It's just one of the most awful things you can drink. And they made it like, continually be like, it's not that bad, don't worry, it's fine. It's fine, drink loads of it, yeah, it's fine.
I love that Coca-Cola did used to actually have cocaine in it. I love it, like the original recipe.
I bet it was really good.
Yeah.
I bet
it tasted so good.
Well, there's a good YouTube channel, Ordinary Things. Shout out to Ordinary Things. He just talks about stuff, and he did one on Coke that I read a lot about. Yeah, well, I think Coke and Pepsi, or maybe just soft drinks. He did it on fizzy drinks or something. He did it on, but there's a good episode on that where he talks all about. We started off with Coke and actual Coke in it and shit. And it was made by like pharmacists. Originally, it was made by pharmacists. It was like a medicine.
Yeah.
And you got it all from a pharmacist counter until like one guy. And I think he maybe died after like a year of it going, and then I don't know something. Watch his video; it's much better than that explanation of it.
I'm sure. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm sure that I read that Fanta was created so Coca-Cola could sell it in Nazi Germany.
I've heard that, yeah. Because Fanta is owned by Coke, yeah.
Yeah, so because obviously they didn't want to be associated with selling a product to like a fascist state, they created this whole new brand that sort of kept it to one side and then sold it in Germany. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard it a few
something
times.
Along those lines, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Evil corporate. What's worse, Rob, Coca-Cola or the Catholic Church?
Easy.
That's a fucking good question. They're both pretty fucked, aren't they?
They're all the same thing. They're all
the Catholic Church has been going for longer. Maybe in like 100 years, everyone will have forgot the Catholic Church, and we'll still like Coke will be ruling the world. Coke will have these like towers. McDonald's will be like huge cathedrals of McDonald's.
Yeah.
With the Coke lords. There'll be like Coke fountains, and we'll have like Coke glass windows.
What do you think's going to happen in the next 100 years?
Fuck
For one, that not only is no one religious anymore, but they don't even remember what the Catholic Church was.
It'd be like, have you ever heard of cargo cults?
No, go on.
So, like back in sort of the 30s and 40s and maybe even a bit earlier, like Pacific Islanders and like Polynesian islands, might have never had any contact with like the Western world or anything like that. And if they came across sort of like a shipping boat or some products washed up on the shore, a few cases of like the islanders started worshipping these people or these things as like a sort of like a deity. I
have heard about that. There was
like a famous one.
There was a famous one. Isn't there a famous one where they did it with like they used to do it with like Vietnam soldiers or something as well? And there's like there's a whole island that they call him something, like Sergeant John, but the
Yeah.
name's got completely fucked, and it's like Sunjajan John,
Yeah.
and he's like some god who came from the sky. Turns out it was like probably like a Vietnam soldier or something that landed there.
Yeah, because he was able to give them something, you know, and they're
Yeah,
like, taking it as almost like a miracle. And
yeah, and chocolate bar is like part of their religion. Like this fucking Snickers that he give him. I was like, yeah,
it's really
That's
interesting.
funny how there's like
that is interesting.
there's some of those remote islands that have had no contact with the outside world that you can go to and you'd be treated like a god. And then there's other remote islands where if you go near it, they'll just fucking spear you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like
put your head on a spike.
Like those
Yeah, there's a guy-
Andaman Islands off the coast of India, where the Indian government have put like an exclusion zone around them because anyone who goes there just gets fucking shot by arrows and spears thrown at them, and they haven't had any contact with, you know, sort of modern society.
Was that the famous one like a year or so ago where a guy got shot on the beach? He's like a missionary
Yeah.
trying to go, and they just arrowed him. Yeah.
That was Sentinel Island. That island was called. I don't know if that's in the same area.
Well, too fucking right. Everyone else has visited these remote tribes. They ended up and it's always missionaries.
Yeah.
They end up going in there and they just fucking wipe them all out with fucking diseases.
Yeah.
So they are right to kill that cunt.
What
Kill him on the
happened
beach.
to,
right?
was it the Aztecs?
Sorry, no
or
disrespect
the Incas
to the
or
guy's
whatever?
family.
Who wiped out the Incas? It was like the Spanish conquistadors, wasn't it? They brought like smallpox
Conquistadors or something. Yeah.
or the plague or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it's always fucking smallpox, isn't it? Same as how America actually wiped out most of the Native Americans.
Yeah,
Like,
just
like,
flu
they
and
fucking
stuff.
killed a lot of them, but like 90% of them they killed with smallpox. They killed like
Was it?
90% of them with smallpox. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
let
it's
the
just
rabbits
strange
It
how-
wasn't the Americans, was it? It
Strange
was
how
the fucking
people
English.
Forget
us
about that,
taking
and
over there.
then
Yeah.
they still won't get a vaccine today.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Alright, very
that's probably
Christmassy.
70% of our listener.
That was
audience.
hugely political there, Jules. Yeah.
It's the closest we're ever going to come to politics on the
Yeah.
Cast. Anyway, I'll move on to my next topic, which brings us right back down to earth, to our normal sort of content, which is good. This is raging. Raging is in quotation marks. Raging Santa Claus rips off beard and tells children to get the fuck out after fire alarm disrupts grotto. So this is from the UK.
I was hoping it was more just like he just got fed up.
Well, no, so that's a bit misleading, the headline, because it sounds like
Okay.
he's trying to save him, you know, but he's just got a bit too over it. But it's not quite the case. So
Okay. Brilliant.
a furious Santa Claus stunned children at a Christmas event in Cambridgeshire by bursting out of his grotto, tearing off his beard and telling them to get the fuck out. Organisers of the Father Christmas Grotto Experience in St Ives have apologised to families over the entertainer's foul-mouthed tirade, apparently sparked by a fire alarm. Saint Nick saw red when a smoke machine at a family rave event downstairs triggered the alarm and evacuation of the building. So it sounds like there was another event below that's triggered the fire alarm, and he's just got a bit frustrated. You know, and
This
sort
can't have
of
been
kicked off.
2020, surely. All these fucking events happening.
No,
Was
this
it this
is
year?
from a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely wasn't this way. So this witness says he came charging in, ripped his hat and beard off in front of 50-odd kids and started shouting and swearing at people to leave. He added, "You should be ashamed of yourself acting like that in front of children. There's no way he should be allowed near a child." Mr. Gaynor, who's this witness, who was at the event with his 3-year-old son and 7-year-old daughter, claimed the Father Christmas screamed, "Get the fuck out!" in front of children. There was no need
Did
for
he
that.
think it was
he
a
added.
fire then? Or, yeah. Did he think there was a fire, or did he just?
Well, he was annoyed, so he suggests that Santa was annoyed at the event at disrupting his grotto, so the fire alarm and the event downstairs.
Oh,
disrupted
so
the
he
grotto.
screamed, "Get the fuck out!" to the kids at the rave.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
not to his own grotto.
So he stormed
kids,
out of the grotto, gone
Oh, right.
downstairs, burst into this like family rave.
which is still full of kids, right?
Yeah.
It's a family.
So like, oh yay, Santa's here. I think a family rave. I've seen these things before. They call them like raveroo or like raveroony, and it'll be like loads of like fucking middle class white mums
Yeah.
take their kids to like what sort of a rave? They play kind of like maybe light maybe like happy hardcore or something, maybe like sort of light rave music, and they all have glow sticks, and it's not actually that loud, and the kids sort of dance around. They're like, "Yay, it's a little kid rave," and the parents are like, I get to go to a
fucking
thing.
awful. Sounds like the worst
Yeah,
place
it
in
does
the world.
sound diabolical. Yeah.
I would go down and tell them to all fuck off.
Yeah, he's probably just pissed off of it. It's probably like, you bunch of cunts. Every day
Yeah.
I hear this bullshit. I see you wankers coming in here. Serves them right.
The DJ of the rave is actually on Santa's side.
Good on him.
Yeah, so the DJ says...
Because he fucking hates his life as well. He's
probably
like slowly killing him.
So he says Santa was probably pissed off at the event disrupting his grotto. Santa was raging and did rip off his beard and hat and swore in front of the kids, which I'm making no excuse for. It was terrible. However, I do think that the reason Santa was raging was because they booked a kids' rave on the same day as kids going to see Santa upstairs at the event. He was probably sat there trying to talk to kids with thumping music playing and just got pissed off. The fire alarm going off was probably the final straw.
I make him right.
So apparently one of the kids asked why Santa was being horrible. And this is another quote. It says, "My friend's little boy was upset as his dad was carrying him when Santa told him to get the fuck out. The mother added, we told our children he wasn't the real Santa. He was an imposter and will be going on the naughty list."
I have a mate, right, who was driving in traffic and got in an argument with, like, got in a little bit of road rage with some woman who had her kids in the car. And he was like, I don't know, she was flipping him off or something. And apparently they got up to traffic lights and he pulled up next to him, wound the window down. And like, obviously the kid was the side right next to him and she's on like the driver's side, the other side. He looked right in the kid's eyes and went, "Santa Claus ain't real," and just drove off.
That is good.
It's good, isn't it?
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's the best way to win an argument, really.
Yeah, that's fucked that woman's day for sure. Like all day she's had to deal with it. Oh, why did a nasty man say that?
I'm gonna do that every time I'm in road rage now. Not even if there's not a kid in the car.
Just start doing it, even if there's not road rage. Just put up to a random kid's window and just ruin their fucking. It's already shit enough. Let's just ruin some kid's Christmas.
They look back and they're like, "I'm 19."
It's like when the last Harry Potter film came out, book, like the very last one, there was like a load of like grief on 4chan and Reddit and stuff because people had got access to early copies of it and were sort of going around ruining the end of the book for people. So they'd just like pull up to people in traffic and say, Snape dies, or they'd go and shout at a like a Harry Potter event. And just get chased out of the event and stuff like that.
Well, people were doing it with Star Wars as well, weren't they? With like, it would be like some really shit like photo, a load of donuts or something, and there'd be one donut and it just said like Han Solo dies or something like that.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert to anyone that ain't.
Yeah, I had that exact spoiler when that film came out. That was the first of the newest trilogy, right? So and it just and it wasn't even, it was like the day of where the film comes out, and obviously I know, be careful when I'm scrolling on Twitter and stuff. If I see anything that says Star Wars or anything, I'll just skip it, and I'm like scrolling through and it just says Han dies. It's like, there's no way of avoiding that.
Yeah, it was a
like,
cunt.
You're done for.
I had a blocker. I got still actually on my Chrome, a Chrome plugin that was like Star Wars alert, and I forget it's there every now and then. I'll look at something, it will go, "There's a potential Star Wars spoiler in this thing." And I'll forget to turn it off. But I'd managed to avoid everything. I'd like specifically avoided all like spoilers, and went to the toilet as I was like about to go and see it. And obviously there's other people coming out that have seen it, and there was some kid sat there and he's talking to someone as I'm about to go in and see it, and I'm having a piss and I'm mid pissing, this little kid's talking, I was just going, I was going, "Shut up." This kid's thinking, what is wrong with this guy? There was a man shouting at me in the toilet.
You turn around while you're having a piss, "Get the fuck out."
Like, "Shut up, you little cunt."
Yeah. Speaking of
I couldn't believe it. He literally started talking about it. I was like, no.
Speaking of Star Wars, on our Christmas episode, have you guys seen the Christmas special of Star Wars?
I have.
No, what does that mean?
It was that. So it's an
actual,
actual,
I have seen that. Yeah, I have seen that. The holiday thing,
just after like the first
fucking
three films.
awful,
I think it was after the first three films, or in between, like maybe just after the first one. But they made a Star Wars Christmas episode. And I've only seen like the highlights. I haven't watched like the entire thing, but it is awful. And
I don't think many people have watched the entire thing, have they?
No,
not since then, anyway.
And Carrie Fisher is like coked out of her mind. Like she's I assume coke because I know she was known just for doing a fuckload of coke. But
is it? She love it.
Yeah.
She's got like a coke now in. Is it the first film? Like one of her nails is really long.
Yeah.
Is it?
And and she's like so spaced out at points. There's a shot where they're in like the Millennium Falcon, and she's sitting there. And then like Luke is chatting with Han and Chewie and stuff. And there's a moment where she's not got a talking role, so her job is just to sit there and kind of like look around and pretend like she's engaged with the conversation, or whatever. And she's just kind of like spaced out, like looking around. And there's a moment where she kind of like looks, and she like looks at Chewie while they're all having a talk. And she's obviously just thinking like, where the fuck am I? And what am I doing? Like, this is fucking weird. And then she just kind of like snaps back into it, and she's just like, Han, and it's so fucking shit. But it's. You know,
there's a little baby Chewie in there as well, isn't there? A little baby Wookiee.
Was that the original Baby Yoda thing? That again, it's just
maybe.
another. Is that another just marketing ploy just for girls to go, Baby Yoda? I really like Baby Yoda. No one else does.
It is a very good series though, The Mandalorian. I'm going to plug that.
He is cute, isn't he?
Big up Faz. Big up Faz. Curious Cast. Special guest. She loves Baby Yoda, and I very much enjoyed sharing images of like Baby Yoda getting like stabbed and killed. There were like a few of those doing the rounds. But he is quite good, I've heard.
Yeah, he is cute, isn't he?
Right,
I've heard the actual things.
I'm going to swerve back to my next story.
Go.
This is the sort of the American gun-toting Santa Claus story. So. This isn't a news story, this is just an event. So this is The Santa Who Tried to Steal Christmas, a story of a failed Texas bank robbery. So 2 days before Christmas in 1927, a group of 4 bandits, with the leader dressed as Santa Claus, tried to rob the bank in Cisco, but the heist didn't go as smoothly as they had planned.
You look Christmassy.
That's exactly what Rob was asking for when we was talking about the...
Yeah, this is what I was looking for,
We've got the law dressed as Santa, and now we've got the wrong side of the law dressed as Santa as well.
Sorry for talking in the background there. Gina's just saying she wanted to piss and didn't want to walk in the shot. I was like, that's right, you look Christmassy. You look like put your hood up, and everyone just think you're like a snow elf.
Just don't do a piss in the shot. That would ruin it a little bit.
All we ask.
So, hello. This is like a retelling of the story. I've looked this up, and this did actually happen. This first little quote. So,
go on.
Hello, Santa Claus, said the bank cashier of the First National Bank of Cisco to someone who walked up to him dressed up as the iconic Christmas time figure. It was only 2 days before Christmas in 1927, so no one was surprised to see a man in the festive costume.
1927.
1927. So this is a good old time back in the roaring 20s.
Yep.
But this Santa was not there to make a deposit or take out a loan for a bigger toy shop. He was there to make a permanent withdrawal at gunpoint of $12,200 in cash and $150,000 in securities. Accounting for inflation,
done all right.
That'd be a haul of about $180,000 and $2.2 million in today's dollar value.
Nice.
Big boy shit. So the man in the holiday disguise was Marshall Ratcliffe, who had only recently been pardoned, along with his brother. And the two had planned to rob the Cisco bank together, but Ratcliffe's brother had already been arrested again before they could pull off the heist. So
what was he pardoned from? Like, what did he?
It doesn't actually say. No, I think he was like
one of those like probably really shouldn't have done that. Like,
it'd be good if he'd like previously tried to rob somewhere dressed as like the Tooth Fairy or something else.
Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
So instead of his brother, he sort of hooked in a couple of his friends to rob this bank. So because he knew that he'd be recognised in the town, he decided to dress up as Santa Claus. He was quite well known, so I think some of his previous crimes had been like just robbery and general
just go to another
naughtiness.
Town.
Yeah, I always think that in like towns in America. Now.
However, I don't think there was money like back in the day. There wasn't always loads of money in all the banks. This bank might have been a central bank, so there's going to be more money in that bank, like what they did in the Wild West, right?
He knew at that time it was a certain deposit, or
yeah, I guess so.
Like Die Hard.
So it's like the 1927 version of Die Hard. So according to the story, he went into the bank first, and then went over to pretend that he was like cashing in a check, and the cashier said hello Santa twice, and he just completely just mugged him off, didn't reply to him at all. And then his colleagues came in, or his accomplices came in, and then Santa drew a revolver and said, "Stick 'em up, everybody."
Were they dressed as
Classic.
elves?
They
or-
weren't, no.
or-
So I think the
they
other
were just
people were just
robbers?
dressed as normal bandits, which is a
Okay.
real shame because it would have been just perfect if they was all dressed as elves. So yeah, they said, "Stick 'em up, everybody." Everyone thought it was a joke. Everyone thought it was like a Christmas joke, until all the other people also pulled out guns and demanded money from the bank. They did get the money. They got started filling up potato sacks full of cash and all the security bonds and checks and
Classic.
stuff. But the police,
Crimes were much better in the 1920s, weren't they?
it's a physical crime rather than like, stealing money from some digital bank account. I love it. But police were alerted to the crime in progress. So police officers obviously responded and they took up position outside the bank. And the bandits took up position by the bank entrances as well. And they started taking pot shots at each other. So a shootout began as the bandits tried to exit the bank. I think one police officer and two police officers were killed by the bandits as they forced their way out of the bank.
Cool.
Over 200 bullets were exchanged throughout the bank and the alleyway around the side. The bandits took hostages from the inside and they forced them to obviously go out and use them as cover. Got into a car and a car chase ensued in 1927. Don't know how quick cars could go back in the 20s, but I imagine it's going to be like a good, like an Indiana Jones shootout where one's hanging out the
I was
back,
thinking that. Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
shots and
With
stuff
like,
like that.
with like a Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Jumping
All the while.
from car to car.
All the while, whilst one of them's dressed as Santa Claus. I don't know what would be better, if he was driving or he was the one leaning out the back with a Tommy gun.
No, Santa should be driving, really, shouldn't he? And then like an elf should be out with a Tommy gun. Or
So they had to ditch the car and get into another one because all the tyres got shot out. One of their sort of posse got killed, so they've lost, I think, 2 people by now. 2 of the bandits have been shot and killed. And the townsfolk started to chase them. So the whole town heard about this robbery going on and they all kicked off
wow.
and started chasing them. And for the next several days, the fugitives made their way in hiding through the thick brush in the region. They were stealing multiple cars, taking other hostages, but they eventually got found just after Christmas. And another vehicle chase ensued. However, eventually, after another shootout, Ratliff, so Santa Claus, fell down from the shot that hit him and was taken into custody. And the other 2 remaining bandits briefly escaped, but they were also arrested afterwards. Unfortunately, the same guy, like the Santa Claus, tried to get away with obviously being executed or sent to jail. So he pleaded insanity, and it just kept dragging the trial on and on and on. So the trial just continued, and all the while the town were getting more and more angry about the fact that he hadn't been shot or he hadn't been, put in jail or something like that.
Yeah.
And eventually a mob broke into the jail, dragged him out and started beating him up in the street.
Classic. Good old
And they lynched him.
American 1920s. Oh, brutal.
So they lynched him. So they dragged him around the back of a theatre, which is said to have been producing a play called The Noose at the time, and lynched the man.
Savage. Why were they so bothered?
Yeah,
Like-
I'm not too sure. It doesn't really say why the
It's-
town was so up in arms about it.
Well, he killed people, right?
I guess he killed a couple of cops and he took obviously a few people hostage. So
Yeah,
I
they were
guess he
probably local. I mean, he'd probably been pissing people off for a while, robbing them and shit.
And
And then he killed their police officers, which
Which is their
these days
brothers
wouldn't be
and
as big of a deal,
uncles
but they were
and-
probably
Yeah.
local family man, the
Yeah,
most honest
yeah.
guys in the community.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Or not, as the case generally is now.
There was one
But
Yeah,
still.
but it was the 20s.
There was one good little happy or sort of happy ending. So one of the other bandits got sentenced to life in prison. However, after making a few escape attempts, he eventually got released many years later, and he eventually became friends with one of the like the people they'd taken hostage, like a teenage boy at the time. So he became friends with this teenage boy that years before obviously he was a grown man by then. That years before he tried to take hostage in a bank robbery, which is a bit weird, and they became like best friends until he died.
That is
Very nice. That's good.
Wholesome end. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Just like the BBC, see, just like the news. But yeah, it's a good little story. It's not. I'd never heard about the Santa Claus bank robbery. There's a bit more to it.
No,
There's
like
a sort of an extended play-by-play of exactly what happened as they were shooting their way out of the town. But it goes on for quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gist of it was Santa Claus tried to rob a bank, almost got away with it, and then got lynched.
Yeah. I like the imagery of just Santa Claus with a revolver. I'm looking forward to making it that thumbnail.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Have you seen? There's like talking about Santa Claus with a thumbnail. There's this. I think the film's out now, to like buy or rent or whatever, and it's got Mel Gibson who's starring in it. The film's called Fat Man, and it's basically about Santa Claus. Mel Gibson is Santa Claus, and he's been putting too many people on his naughty list recently because he's just pissed off, and he thinks people are just getting worse, and more people getting on the naughty list, and then this like rich little kid is pissed off about being put on a naughty list, so he hires a hitman to go and kill Santa Claus. So he goes up to Lapland or North Pole or wherever he is and tries to kill Santa Claus. And then Mel Gibson, who's playing this, like he's not a ho 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 jolly. He's like, I've had enough of this shit. And he's like like Home Alone style, like got turrets on his house, and he's like fucking killing people. And apparently it's like pretty brutal, like just Father Christmas just wrecking people. Yeah,
that sounds like a like a McBain Christmas.
Yeah,
you know, like from
yeah, it does.
Simpsons. It doesn't sound real.
Yeah. But he, I heard someone talking about it on a different podcast, like explaining it, and they done a really good job of selling it. I was like, that sounds fucking great. And I watched the trailer the other day, and it does look like shit.
Yeah,
so I want to watch.
Is it like good shit?
But I still like.
Might watch it after this.
I like the idea of
I like the idea of it. After like a few beers,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
you've got to have at least 4 beers, which I will have successfully polished off by the time we finish
Yeah,
here.
go buy Fat Man and tell me how it is.
My last thing that I've got is
Jen looks thrilled at the idea of watching that as well.
we could do a live viewing. That'd be good.
A talk through.
My last thing that I've got is really simple. It's just a photo for you. So unfortunately, if you're only listening to this might be something you'll have to briefly look at, on YouTube. I forgot. My brain just stopped working for a second.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah, I thought you dropped it in here.
Yeah,
but
I don't
it's
have
not.
I'm about to put it in. About to put it in there now. So this is from a couple of years ago, and this, in the UK, in Trafalgar Square, every year Norway gives the UK a Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they also do it in a couple of other towns throughout the UK as like a thank you. I can't remember exactly what it's commemorating. It might be
something from the
to do
war,
with
I think.
Second World War or First World War. Anyway, so I think it was 2018. Something happened with the Christmas tree that was being sent over to Grimsby, which is up in Yorkshire, and they had to figure out a replacement for this tree. So normally there'd be a big tree, and they've got a space in the middle of Grimsby town centre for it to stand majestically. Have a look at what they decided to put in its place. I've just sent it through to you now.
Let me just make sure there's nothing personal before I.
Fuck off. Fuck off. That's got to be a piss take. Did they? No way.
Apparently that was legit. It's brilliant, right?
This is good. It will be.
You probably can't
on
even
the
see it 'cause
screen
it's so...
now for anybody watching.
So for people listening, there's a cordoned off area of a high street. I don't know how big the cordoned off area is, but it's pretty big. Probably.
I got deja vu with this.
It's
Have
like
we
the 20
fucking done this before, George?
I don't think so. No, I don't think.
I got
seen it.
massive deja vu with this, or something really similar.
It was all over Twitter a couple of years ago, I think. So maybe you might have seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like a cordoned off area, which is probably like maybe 20 foot across, maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
And in the middle, there's a Christmas tree, which is about, I don't know, half a foot tall, or probably less than that,
Yeah.
in a tiny little pot. And it's even got like a like a ball, one single bauble on it.
I was saying, I don't think it's been decorated.
While you're explaining this, I'm going to have a slash. That's the trouble with drinking beers on a podcast.
No, you abandoning the podcast mid. You just have to win a bottle there.
That is down his little ladder he goes.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, that is good. I like that. I like that they've obviously, the person who done that has obviously, they've obviously done it to be funny. They've obviously been like, oh, we haven't got a tree. They could have just gone around the corner and probably picked up at least like an 8-foot tree or something that people would have in their house or garden or something like that. But instead they just thought, you know what, let's make the most out of this shit situation, us not having a massive tree like we would normally do, and just have this little one. This is one that you'd put on a mantelpiece or the windowsill.
Yeah, like a tiny, or maybe even in a truck. If you're a lorry driver, you could have that.
Yeah, like on your dash or something.
Yeah.
It is a tiny tree, and I like the cordon around it is like huge as well.
It's not in the centre though, is it? It's really annoying me. The more I look at it, I'm like,
not in the centre of the circle.
Yeah. It's like triggering me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Christmas trees, the one in Trafalgar Square this year looks well shit. Like,
oh really?
Yeah. On, I can't remember, like the One Show or something. There was like a thing of them putting it up. So it come over on like a truck, and then they take off the truck and put it all up. But it's like missing a shitload of branches. It looks really
I
weird.
did see that. Like, I saw it. They put it up quite a while ago, right? Like
I think
a few weeks ago, probably. Trafalgar. I went to Google Trafalgar Square Christmas tree. And I googled Trafalgar Tree Square Christmas. But it gets you there.
Same result.
Yeah, is this year's one?
It's got like not a lot of growth on like the lower branches and stuff. It's like really bare, and then the lights are just like in a single straight line up the tree.
Yeah, I do see that. I've got that on the screen now.
What's this? Like a Christmas tree that they just fucking not bothered with?
One in
Trafalgar
Trafalgar Square this year. It's like a really.
Is it just they thought? Yeah, is it just what's the fucking point? No one's here anyway.
It's rubbish.
Why have they even bothered though? That is a point though. Like, why have they even put it there?
Tradition.
Yeah.
Yes, that's me done.
I like that.
That's ended on the little.
Like the little tree.
Nice one, George.
End on an upbeat one.
There is a little addition. I'll have to try and get the photo of it. I've got the Twitter thread up here of the guy who took this photo of the tree, and he has got a follow-up photo where he's actually put some lights on it. It's just like 2 or 3 little lights with a little star on top of the little tree.
Nice. I like it.
Good man.
Which is great.
I wonder if that's just a little bit of vigilante decorating, where he's just jumped the barrier and thought, I'll make it look better myself, or if the council did come back around and sort it out.
Well, they did eventually put another tree in, and there's like this nice big Christmas tree there, and then the little tree is still next to it, like inside the barrier.
That's nice.
Love it.
So is it that they didn't have any tree there whatsoever, so someone just put that there as a laugh?
Oh, maybe.
Surely,
potentially. Don't ruin it. It's the magic of Christmas.
It's good. So, man arrested for choking driver who wouldn't stop singing Christmas carols. It's one of those where there's actually I don't think there's that much to add to it really. Yeah. A man is behind bars at the Allegheny County Jail after accusations that he choked another man for singing Christmas songs. It was around 9 a.m. on a Monday when a state trooper was waved down and told about a possible medical emergency heading into the town. When he got to the scene, investigators say that the trooper spotted a Chrysler Town, which I guess is a type of car, and county minivan parked on the shoulder, and 2 men on the side of the guardrail. Basically, it seems like the police had already got there and were having a bit of an altercation with this man. And it says the victim...
One dressed as Santa just run up and dump tackle him for no reason.
The victim told the trooper he was driving the minivan with his passenger, 25-year-old Clayton Lucas. The victim told the trooper Lucas reached around his seat while he was driving and began choking him. And then the police officer tried to handcuff him. He wouldn't listen. After several commands, he ended up having to sweep Lucas's leg from under him to gain control of the situation. And it says the victim told the trooper he was singing Christmas songs. So the victim said Lucas tried to choke him to make him stop singing.
What was it? Were they like colleagues, or was he like a taxi driver?
I guess a taxi or something. It was a minivan, and the guy was sitting behind him, so I assume it was
a taxi.
Yeah, I assume like a taxi.
So the taxi driver was singing the carols.
Yeah, so the taxi driver was singing, which is really annoying. Like if I was a taxi
like...
driver for one, I'd probably be the type of taxi driver that's pretty silent. And maybe if you know, if the person that gets in your car seems like they're a chatty person, then you just have the usual, you know, small talk. But I wouldn't be singing.
Do you think he had music on, or was you just a cappella, one after the other?
Like poorly reciting the lyrics, just like I gave you my heart, like just not even remembering the lyrics.
I remember this the other day. We was at university in Lancaster, and we had a gig in Blackpool. So I think it's like an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a fair old time to be in a taxi, and like part of the things of the gig, it was like for one of the grad balls or something. So they paid for us to get part of the payment was they got us a taxi back. So we used to do this game around that time where we'd go. One of us would say
another one of Rob's classic games. This.
Yeah. We try and sing the lyrics to "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas," but you have to sing one at a time. So we could sort of try it with us three now, for example. So
I don't know any of the words.
If any two of you say the word at the same time, the game's over. So it'd be like I'm
dreaming
of.
We fucked it. Yeah, and you fucked it. So we did that for the entire taxi journey back for an hour and a half. This poor fucking taxi driver. I'm surprised.
Drive off of.
I'm surprised he didn't choke us.
I swear we did it. I would have choked out myself.
yeah, we did it for the whole journey back, and because we was obviously lamoured.
Yeah, that's a good little team building exercise. You've probably done the team building exercise where you have to count to 20.
I was going to say there is you lie there with your eyes shut and you try and count to 20 is a thing. But so we made like the Christmas version of that.
Yeah, that sounds shit.
Listeners at home, you could try this around the Christmas table with just you and the one other person that you're with. But
I'm
it generally requires 3 or more people. I might try it over fucking Zoom or something because we're going to have to do.
That's even worse with the lag.
Whatever you're using. Yeah, exactly. Even harder to try and do. I might try and do that as a Christmas ditty with the family.
It says here, in the complaint, the victim went on to tell the trooper on the scene that Lucas restricted the air and blood from around his neck to the point where he was about to pass out. The trooper noticed that the victim's neck was red and his eyes were bloodshot. So Lucas is in jail and faces multiple charges. That is it. It's quite a.
It's pretty unreasonable, isn't it? Just to like start.
It's quite.
And also, the guy's driving, so like
sing Christmas songs.
Yeah, what did he do? Mid's driving along in the car, or was he made him pull over and go? Pull over now, you cunt!
Motorway.
Yeah.
Being choked out.
Or was the altercation that they saw, was that them? Was it him strangling by the side of the road? So if he said like,
no,
fucking pull over, you twat, stop fucking singing, or was it the police?
He tried to choke him out while driving. So the guy's driving and he just reached around behind him and starts choking him out. So I guess he managed to resist or pull over before anything dangerous happened. And then
do you think it was a bit like that scene in Dumb and Dumber? You know where they're. It's in the original Dumb and Dumber. They're driving along and they're like singing. The guy's like, "Don't you guys have a radio?" They're like, "No." And I can imagine the guy just maybe the guy singing the carols knew the other guy was getting annoyed, so he's just like you say, not really knowing the words, just turning around to him, just shouting in his ear like, "Shit! I'm dreaming." Just that's what I'd do if I felt like someone was getting pissed off with me singing Christmas carols. Turn it up.
Love it.
Turn it down and just sing worse.
This one that I have is similar to. This might be Rob's friend, maybe. Man arrested for telling kids there's no Santa. So I haven't actually read this, so I don't know why he was arrested, because surely that's not a crime, but we'll see. It was in Kingston, Ontario. Apparently, the Grinch may live in Kingston, Ontario. The 24-year-old Kingston man was arrested during Saturday's Santa Claus parade after police received a complaint about a man walking along the parade route telling children that Santa Claus doesn't exist. So that's even worse than just kind of like, randomly like flipping out on the street or something. he literally followed a parade of Santa Clauses to tell all the kids that they weren't real.
Is that one of the times they've managed to arrest him with for a fucking ASBO or something? You know,
Maybe,
just to arrest him for being a cunt, basically.
Yeah.
And found an excuse to arrest him because.
So it says, a release from Kingston Police said cops easily found the anti-Santa. He was described as having his hair formed to look like horns that were protruding from his head. So he's.
What?
I don't know. He's
This actually the Antichrist went around telling people.
Satanised his hair. Officers located the man with the unique description at Princess Street and McDonald Street. The man, whose name was withheld, is being charged with causing a disturbance by being drunk and breach of probation. Okay, so he's already a criminal, and I guess he's just drunk and just being a prick. He's also facing the Liquor License Act offence of public intoxication. He was held overnight and attended a bail hearing Sunday.
It sounds kind of like if you guys read or seen Good Omens, like they did
I have seen it, yeah.
So this sounds sort of like the devil character. That basically it's like a devil and an angel are like stationed on Earth. Both of them, like one doing the devil's work, one doing the angel's work. But because they're both there for like, you know, an eternity, 1,000 years or whatever, they end up just being mates. Yeah. And then like right into so basically, so like the devil's talks about how it was his idea to the M25, for example, and stuff like that. Yeah. But like it seems like the sort of thing he would do, just get pissed and then just end up like walking down the show. I just had to cunt some people off today. just got really fed up, just bored, just thought I'd ruin some kids' Christmas. It's like the devil's work, isn't it? It does sound.
You've been very cunt heavy tonight, Rob.
Well, I'm quite happy about that because I realised last episode we didn't say the word cunt until the very end. So I just said it. At the end, I just slipped in a cunt, and you both went, "Oh!" I was like, "Well, it hasn't been said yet."
Did we even swear last episode? Was it all? It was all like history.
Oh, no, yeah,
not swearing.
I think there's a few swear words. Okay. Lynn's entered the room.
Oh, hello. But
stop swearing.
Looking for chocolate.
Yeah.
I hope she's coming to call you a cunt.
Probably. Are you going to call me a cunt then? She just laughed.
Yeah, that's it for that. He was arrested, not for telling kids there's no Santa, you know, for public intoxication. And that was 8 years ago, so he's probably dead or something.
He's probably still in jail.
Yeah, maybe. It's harsh crime. He might get lynched.
Yeah.
So they're going to drag him out and lynch him. But that is that, and mine are all pretty rapid fire ones.
Oh, is that your last one?
No. This is my last one because we're ending on a nice one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got another heartfelt one.
Yeah. So maybe you might have heard this because I think I'd heard it before and kind of like rediscovered it. It was from 2015. Christmas card addressed to England reaches the right person. So Paul Biggs says he was absolutely shocked when his postman delivered a Christmas card addressed to England from his friends in Germany. So a German Christmas card with just England on the envelope has reached the right address in Gloucestershire. They've basically just reworded the title 3 times there. Paul Biggs from Longlevens said he was absolutely shocked when his postman arrived at his front door with the card from his friends in Bitburg in Germany. He said, "I can't believe it. It's eerie. It's just got England," and sent from a sorting office in Bitburg. Royal Mail says it's addressed like detectives. Huh?
Sounds like a cryptocurrency, Bitburg.
Bitburg. Royal Mail said its addressed detectives are renowned, but even by their standards, it is impressive. Mr. Biggs said the card had been sent from his friends in Germany on Monday and was handed to him by his postman on Wednesday morning.
Fuck off, in 3 days.
Fuck, yeah, that's quick.
It's a Christmas miracle, Rob.
Yeah. The postman had been carrying the letter as he completed his round, asking his customers if the card was for them. So it wasn't I guess.
How did he get that far? How did he get as close as?
It doesn't really go into too much details. It is weird, but it said.
Is this just a marketing ploy for Royal Mail? Saying, "Look how good
Maybe.
we are."
Yeah.
We can get a postcard.
Or is it for that book? Do you remember that? It was one of my favourite books as a kid. When I was a family, it was the Jolly Postman Rides Again,
No.
and it was he went around delivering Christmassy. It was like a sort of Christmassy book. He's going around delivering stuff, and there was like a little interactive kind of book. There were little things you pulled out of it.
Okay.
Big up the Jolly Postman Rides Again. Fucking banging book that was. I might dig that out. Anyway, not that.
No. It said, he gave me my mail and said, "Are you expecting anything from Germany?" And I said, "I might be. We've got friends over there," said Mr. Biggs.
I need more context to this. How the fuck did he get as close as this guy?
He said, "Have a look at this letter." So I had a look and turned it over, and our friend's address was on the back of it, and on the front it just said England. Mr. Biggs said the card had been sent from a sorting office in Germany, close to Gloucester's twin town of Trier, and had not been opened. I said, "How on earth did you know it was for me?" And he said, "I didn't. I've been wandering around with this."
He's been walking all the way from Germany.
Yeah. My wife and I are absolutely shocked, but this puts... What? My wife and I are absolutely shocked, but this puts posties at 5 or 6 stars and top of the tree for me at this Christmas.
This sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
This is more bullshit than my £50 note one.
No.
There's no way.
£50
this
note
fucking
one's
happened.
true. I don't know about this one,
but
however.
this one ain't fucking true. How did they? I need to believe it's true. I need some more context as to how the fuck they narrowed
They
down
must
to
have
this
like
guy.
just contacted the person who sent the postcard, right, and be like, "Look, what are you doing? Why are you sending a card without an address on it?"
Yeah, at least the county. You know, if it had a county on it, he could have. Why would it have even made it as far as the county? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. There's a picture of the letter. It literally just says England on it.
This is whole shit. This is
Tom,
whole shit.
you're frustrating Rob. You can't do this.
No, go on, keep going.
I'm trying to.
Can
I'm
you
trying
hear
to
the
do
dog
some
snoring in the
quick-
background? By the way, the dog is the dog's the one sleeping tonight.
Oh,
Is he snoring?
She is having an absolute snore. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
normally one that snores either. Or is that Pippa there? Oh, I'm confused. Yeah, oh, it is. Pippa's having a right old snore. Can you hear her? Or is
Yeah, I
that
heard that. There.
Is it coming? Yeah.
So
Yeah, sorry.
okay. I didn't actually
Carry
read
on with
this
your
far.
fucking bullshit, Tom.
I didn't read this far until just now. But it says
Okay.
the card, it is believed, may have originally been addressed correctly, and so was sent to the right area of England, but with an address label that fell off at some point. Which is a good theory,
Right.
I guess. If,
Okay. Yeah, that gives it a little more.
you
Surely
know,
they could just
traction.
ask the people and say, "Did you put an address label on it?"
do you want me to
Yeah.
do you want me to reach out? I'll
Yes, reach out for next time,
I'll
please.
see
want
if I
some
can
reaching
follow
out,
up.
Yes.
I know a very, very small amount of German.
Yeah.
I was like
I know a guy-
4% fluent on Duolingo.
If you need help translating it, I know a guy who lives in Germany. He's a translator in the UN.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Oh, fucking hell.
Imagine
Oh, man.
that. I'm trying to look
Yeah,
at
nice.
pictures of the envelope to see if it looks like a label has fallen off or something, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Tom, do that. That would be wunderbar.
Although this picture
if
here
you
literally
find
has...
the people and you need it translated, hit me up and I'll get me man from my uni band Wagtail. Big up Wagtail.
So,
Uh,
I'm going to reach out to these people.
do it.
Yeah, and because
Let's hope that
the BBC clearly don't care about... You
BBC
know,
are full of shit.
clearly they don't... Oh no,
Fuck
this is
the
actually...
BBC. Fuck the Catholic Church.
So, the BBC have actually been okay, and they only posted the front of the letter, but on the Mirror, they actually posted the back of the letter, which has the German family's address on it.
brilliant.
Brilliant.
So I'll just write to them.
Yeah.
I'll just write to them and see
please.
if they want to come
To be
on
honest, that's
podcast.
the better way of doing this is writing them as mail.
Yeah.
But just write Germany on it.
Just set a precedence that guy's house is now England and their house is Germany. That's just where it goes.
I know you've got to actually write them just a letter, actual post it in the letter, but say, here's our fucking. Oh no, try and get a letter back.
Yeah, Tom,
Actually,
but
no.
we need to announce we're doing it before, so that cunt doesn't steal a another idea. And
Oh yeah, Max
Yeah.
Fosh. I found a letter in Germany.
what a prick.
Yeah. I'm looking for. I haven't uploaded the video yet of Max Fosh stealing our interview. But I'll do
Well,
it.
like the edit of that bit. Any of these, someone's bound to tag him in it. Isn't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
I'll do it after. I'm gonna do it after Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas hype dies down, and we out Max Fosh.
I've even gone off. What's his name? Kellogg's kid. Can't remember his name now.
Sven.
Sven. Yeah, he's gone down in my
Old Sven, he's
estimations.
all right. Nah, fair play to old Sven. Like, what, he
I've-
just needed to get out there, didn't he?
No, I've knocked him down to like a sort of 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay, that's all right. Yeah.
He's all right.
That's all right. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to these people. Oh, there's even a picture of him. Or is this a man? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to the German family, and maybe the British family. Old Paul Biggs as well.
Yeah, get Bigsy on.
Do it. I'm excited.
Yeah. He looks pretty old here. He might not be alive. 5 years ago.
Oh.
But yeah.
I thought that was supposed to end on a happy note, and you've just talked about
Big old Bigsy might be dead.
Bigsy.
No, I'm
Bigsy.
sure he's not. But
He's having it. Why don't you
yeah.
why don't you speak to Captain Tom and all? Get him involved.
who? What? The bloke who walked
Who?
about?
Yeah, you know the whatever his name was.
Yeah, Captain Tom.
General Tom.
The guy at the
Who?
beginning of Corona walked up and down his garden and made money.
Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from?
What?
Like, why did you bring that up? Where did that come
Because he's also a very old man.
Oh, right. Like a 2020
I mean,
feel-good story.
yeah.
I bet that was on the end of the fucking BBC News, wasn't it? Old Captain Tom.
Yeah, well, he's been.
They did that.
They,
Yeah.
They're throwing him in adverts now as well. There was an advert for
Oh no,
I can't
poor
remember
man.
what like no he's not actually in the advert, but like he's referenced in the advert.
That's
So he's
even
like
worse.
Yeah, he's been like
That is
referenced
worse because
as,
that's like Lloyd's. That's like the fucking banks. Other banks are available. that's like the fucking banks. Other banks are also pricks.
Yeah, don't use
saying-
banks, guys.
Yeah. At least we know where
And
Rob
that-
keeps his money. It's going to be in his mattress. So if anyone wants to
No,
steal all his wealth,
But that's the same thing. That's the same thing as the banks bigging up small businesses. Is some fucking advert, you know, bringing up poor old fucking Captain Tom.
Don't worry about him. You didn't even fucking know who he was a second ago. So why are you saying?
I didn't know he was, but I wondered why the hell you were bringing it up. Like I thought, what the fuck's that got to do with it?
He's done all right.
You're like one of those
he's a s-
fucking. You're like one of those fucking banks bringing him up. You're just using it for the clickbait.
He's all right.
You're gonna be like, oh, Curious Cast supports Captain Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's gonna do an edit now. Captain Tom and the
He's
Curious
right.
Cast.
Yeah,
and
I'm
it'll be-
putting him on the layout now. It'll be on the. You know.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
a
This
big up
episode
Captain
brought to you
Tom,
by
yeah.
Captain Tom.
Yeah.
He's
No,
a-
I'm not insulting Captain Tom. Big up, but
Sounds
you
like
fucking-
no, it
you're
sounds like you're really annoyed with him.
no, it sounds like you're trying to fucking cash in on that man's hard work.
Oh, yeah.
I won't stand for it.
Ka-ching. I'm trying to get us a sponsor, Rob.
Oh,
This is all
Curious
I've-
Cast supports small business.
Look, I'm trying to get us a sponsor. Be that Lawford or Captain Tom, one of the two. They're going to stop paying us money. I don't care who it is.
But yeah,
Lawford makes all his money off his Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah, once he's
Oh, yeah.
made loads of money. Bellend.
But yeah, we'll that is my last one. That was my little heartfelt one. Is that the
Christmas, yeah.
Christmas card reached England safely?
I like it. It's left us with more answers than more questions than answers, but
And I'll get the answers.
yeah. Well, I
Um,
guess that's it then.
That's it. Merry Christmas,
That's
everyone.
it. Fucking yeah.
Yeah, it's been. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in for
Yeah,
this
on
season
Christmas
of
Day
the
or
Curious
Christmas
Cast.
Eve, maybe.
Um,
I think we've done Christmas Eve. Get it up. I think we've done more episodes this year than any other year.
Well, I
I said any other year. It
first
took us
season
more
was,
than a year to do the
season
first
was
season.
9 episodes, and we're currently on 5, 6, 7 episodes. But we're
Yeah, but the first season was probably spread across 3 years,
It
wasn't it?
it was
Yeah.
There's no way that was a year. It wasn't a year, was it?
No,
no.
it was like
Um,
over the space of 2 years. Yeah.
Have we really only done 9? There's no way we've only done 9.
It was no in the first season. So
No, it's in this season. Have we only done 7?
this season we've just released episode 5, right? And then we've done 2 specials.
Yeah.
But when did we start up again though?
August,
When did we really-
was it
when did we-
August, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, we've done all right.
Yeah,
then.
so we've done all right.
Okay.
Um,
I think we've actually done one a month minimum, and we
Yeah.
sometimes more.
minimum one a month. Yeah.
I mean, this one's 2 a
So
week.
good.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, don't get used to it. Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not set the wrong kind of precedent. Yeah.
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 But no, thanks to everyone who has listened along to this season. We appreciate it. We hope that you enjoy it. We're still going to be releasing new episodes next year, so don't think of this. It sounds like the end of the Curious Cast, the way I've said that, but it's not.
No, it's not the end of the season
we're
either.
having
Just
another-
getting started.
Just getting
Yeah.
started. For some reason, we're getting less and less listeners each episode.
No, you don't say that.
No, don't say that.
No, we're not. We're
We
getting
need-
more.
Fucking hell,
No,
George.
no.
Yeah.
We need
It's only
you.
increasing.
No, wait. We need you to sort your shit out and start listening to every episode. Because I know that you download them, right? But you don't listen to it. Listen
People
to
that have made it this far are not the problem, George.
That's true.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
All right.
We're an hour and a
you
half in.
You
Yeah.
lot, tell
Tell
your
your
fellow
friends.
listeners to fucking listen.
That's it. Share it with a friend.
Share it, download it.
Share it with one friend. Tell someone to listen to it.
People that made it this
And-
far are our friends.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Fucking Lynn doesn't even.
Big up our friends.
Lynn doesn't even listen to the
No.
Curious Cast, unless I
No,
remind
this
her.
is probably the most Gina's listened to it. Like, just because she's in the room.
Oh,
Or when I put it on the drive once, I put one of them on when we was allowed to go out, when we were allowed outside, and we were driving around in the van.
you can't listen to it. You can't make her listen to it while you're there.
I know. It was weird. It was when I was like, when we first started doing it again, and I was
Ain't no
excited.
funny.
Actually, like, was excited to listen to it. It was. I think we listened to the conspiracy one, didn't we? Actually, yeah, we drove back, so I was quite excited to listen to that one.
That is a good one.
Oh yeah, fucking hell, yeah, she made her mum listen to it. I was like, what the fuck did you tell your mum listen to it
that's
for?
I remember you
I was
saying.
like, I
I
say
remember you
so
saying.
many debaucherous things,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, don't let your mum listen to it. And it was like as if she's only going to only listen to that one episode.
Yeah.
She told me she'd tell me what she thought of it, and she never said a word.
Oh, she never. Yeah, that was it. She said, didn't hear that. Gina was like, yeah. Her mum said, oh, I'll tell you what I think of it, and she never said anything, which means it was not good.
My
Obviously, it was not good. I was like, why would you do that? It's like the amount of times I must say, like, I know it was a conspiracy one, but I bet I spoke about like wanking off an alien or something. Like, I must have said something awful.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my mates the
Fuck.
other day, and he was saying he was like in his room or whatever, and on his computer he was watching the interview with Sven, like our one, and the good one, and he and his mum walked in and was like, "Oh, who's that? Is that Tom? Like, what are you watching?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, this is like Tom's podcast. Like, he done this thing where he interviewed the Frosty's kid or whatever." And she was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then they sat and watched the whole thing together, which isn't too weird because, like, you know, it's an interesting interview with
Quite
Frosty's kid
interesting,
or whatever.
wholesome. Yeah.
But then at the end, it obviously comes up like with more videos, and she was like, "Oh, what's that one?" And it was like another one, and they ended up watching like 4 or 5 of them together, and they were watching like the reused Vietnamese condoms and shit like that, and like some really horrible ones. Yeah, I just felt, it's. I like knowing that people are listening, but I don't like knowing that people I know are listening.
Yeah. Well, every now and then, like, my parents will be like I'll mention I'm doing the podcast, and my dad, but so what's this podcast? And I'm like, nah,
You don't want to know.
no,
Yeah,
it's just not for you. It's
Yeah.
not for you. You won't. No, you just like, no, don't listen. Because my dad will listen as well. He likes radio. He likes stuff like that, and he will start to listen, and then I'll get lots of messages about it. Oh, I don't think you should be talking about that. So no. If you're listening, if this is like 6 months' time and I finally cracked and told my dad what it is, and he's now just got up to this episode, I told you it wasn't for you.
Yeah. And Merry Christmas, Mr. Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My family weren't happy about when I told them that I'd discussed the poo in the bath.
Oh yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Family, yeah.
Did you
But-
present Rosie's theory about the poo sloshing out the bath?
I did. They weren't very impressed. They
So is there any more? Yeah, is there any follow up to that? Or is there
no
any...
follow up still. Absolutely nothing. I thought that when I told them about that theory, that one of them would, really latch onto it and be like, yeah, that must be, trying to cover their tracks or whatever. But
Yeah.
no one did. No one rose to the bait.
Well, I still just think who's it who brought it up originally? Your mum?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's got
100%.
to
It was
be there, innit?
How'd you bring it up?
Well, as I said before, I've been round there, and we were just sitting on the sofa watching television. Me and Lynn were around there, and she just went, weird thing happened the other day.
So your mum shit on the edge of the bath.
Oh, but she hadn't like, brought it up a second. Like she didn't bring it up again or anything.
No.
Okay.
What I said. Hope your mum's listening to this one. Your mum shit on the edge of the bath.
It's just weird, isn't it? Like a weird little thing.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. Very much enjoy it. On that bombshell, I think we're Christmas, aren't we?
Yeah. That's it. I want to wish all of our listeners a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Or happy holidays, whatever you are celebrating this time of year. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
ho ho
ho. And keep an eye out for our next episode. It'll be out sometime in January. Don't know whether it'll be back in the studio or not by then. Probably not.
Probably fucking not. They're talking about March and shit until we're even.
Yeah, probably we'll be in a bunker or something by then.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it in the last couple seconds, but no technical difficulties so far.
Yeah, no, it's been alright.
Yeah, our first at-home episode that's worked.
Yeah,
it's normally due to me, but I think my current setup is alright. One other thing, I better cancel this return on this mic.
Mate, you're fucking keeping that. Yeah, we got a few months of that. Yeah,
so I'm gonna cancel that return.
2 more episodes and it's paid for itself, isn't it? Really?
Well, not really, because I'm not getting paid for this. Unless you want to start paying for me, they're paying me.
No, if you got the petrol, it might have cost you to drive to the studio, which is like 2 minutes away from you.
Fucking electricity is costing me to listen to you through my ears.
Well, big up the listeners. Big up 2020. Fuck off.
Yeah, get 2020 out of my life. Enjoy your Christmas dinners on your own, socially distanced, and we'll see you in the new year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Big up. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bruh.